Hi everyone, welcome to a day in the life of a trainee lawyer working from home. As you can see, I wake up at 7:30 in the morning. I lay in my bed. I know it seems like it's pretty early, but there's things I like to do in the morning. So I just like to brush my teeth, go downstairs, make myself a warm cup of water. Yes, just water, not tea. I put in a little bit of honey and a little bit of lemon juice. It's actually better if you have proper lemon, but I didn't have proper lemon, so lemon juice it is. This is really, really great for your skin, and it's a really good way to cleanse your digestive system. And then I add a little bit of ginger as well, just for immunity. So I have that every morning. Now it's time for me to get into my morning routine. So if you've watched one of my vlogs before, you'll know that every morning there are four main things that I like to do. So I like to pray, I like to meditate and practice gratitude, I like to stretch, if you can see my little gym equipment in the background, and I also like to goal set. So at the moment you can just see me doing my prayer, but I did also manage to do everything else as well. I just didn't get it all on camera. Then I went in to do a little bit of content creation. So over on my Success with Steph Instagram page, which you should definitely pause and go and follow me on over there if you haven't already. I was just vlogging and giving the people some behind the scenes on what it was that I was doing. Then I came back upstairs and literally got ready for my day.
Good morning, everybody. It's the 4th of January. It's currently 9:30 a.m. I'm bright, I'm chipper, and I'm vlogging a day in the life of a trainee solicitor for you today. I'm currently going through my emails and setting up my to-do list. So I'll actually show you how I do that each morning. It's generally the first thing I always do after like doing my whole morning routine and all that kind of stuff. So this morning, as per usual, I did wake up, I did do my prayer, wrote it down in my prayer journal. This year I'm actually keeping a prayer journal, so I'm quite excited about that, and it's honestly made me feel like a lot better within myself, so I think I'm going to try and keep that up for as long as I can. I did find that, so when I woke up I was feeling quite anxious, so instead of just kind of reciting my gratitude, like the 3 things that I'm grateful for, I decided to actually go on a gratitude walk, which you can see now. But that was actually quite nice. Like I just got the gospel music flowing, walked around for about 20 minutes, and that was really, really peaceful. I probably will go for another walk today, purely just because I need some stuff from the shop, and like just to get in my exercise I'll probably just walk to the shop and then come back, but we'll see how that goes. But for now I am writing down my to-do list from my emails, and then I'm going to probably go ahead and have breakfast, have a shower, get dressed, all that kind of stuff, and then start my day properly around like 10, because I don't have any meetings in the morning. So that's the plan. Okay, so let me actually show you now. I've literally just gone through my emails and written up my to-do list. Generally speaking, every day I normally take like a 2 pages in my notebook. So this side, the left side, will always be, you can see my blanket because I work with my window open, I'm a bit cold, but anyway, on the left side will always be my to-do list, which I then split in half, and then the left column on my to-do list side will always be split into morning, afternoon, late afternoon, but evening, do you know what I mean? So I've literally gone through my emails. The only thing that's different about this to-do list that I would normally have, that I obviously didn't put in just purely for the purposes of confidentiality, is that each bullet point will normally have the name of the deal next to it, just so that I can keep on top of stuff, because in transactional seats you're very rarely ever working on just one deal at a time, right? So like, this is for a particular deal, this is for a particular deal, this for, do you get what I mean? So I would normally just have like the name of the deal next to it so that I can keep on top of things. But yeah, because today's the first day back, like since being away for about 2 weeks, there's a lot of like admin-y stuff, so a lot of like checking in with people, mainly because clients are probably going to want an update on where things are as well. So it's good if I just check in with people, and then either I can update the clients or the associate can update the clients or whatever. Through the emails I saw a couple of things I need to do. So like, I need to amend a process agent letter and send out an execution version, because this particular deal needs to sign soon. This one is also closing soon as well, I think, actually, so I need to do that. And that's something that just came in ad hoc, like an associate just randomly messaged me on a deal that I'm on, but to say like, oh, can I help out with that? So I'm going to get to that this morning as well. And then on this side, so on my right side, whenever I have any meetings, so like if I have a call with my supervisor or with any of the associates that I'm working with or something like that, I would literally just have this space for all of my notes. So I would just have the name of the meeting at the top, and then just bullet point actions that come out of it. And then once I've finished the meeting, I would then translate that into my to-do list, because I find that when you're on a call, it's easier to just like take freehand notes and just make things make sense to you, but then I do want it to like look neat in my to-do list after. So yeah, that's basically how I set up my day. So this morning is looking quite light. I'm gonna whiz through all of these things like super quickly. It's probably only gonna take me like, I don't know, an hour and a half or something like that to do all of these things this morning, and then I'm going to I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I'll catch up with you. Okay, so I'm taking a quick mid-morning break to actually just go and grab breakfast. I'll show you what my breakfast is. I've kind of like, basically I go through phases. So like sometimes I have phases where I'm craving like bagel and jam and stuff like that. At the moment I'm craving Weetabix, so that's what we're doing this morning. So I've got my featuring our yam in the background. I've got my breakfast ready. Well, I've got my 2 biscuits of Weetabix, milk, honey, chia seeds. I actually also want a bit of yogurt in there as well, so I'm gonna add some yogurt in there as well. But yeah, that's what I'm gonna have for breakfast today. Eat that quickly, have a shower, get dressed, and then go back to work. Okay, so all done with breakfast, had a shower, changed, in case you're wondering why I'm wearing a different top. There's 2 really quick things that I want to finish. So I need to amend a subscription agreement and then amend a retention note purchase agreement as well. I'm just looking at my to-do list to see what it is that I need to do, but that shouldn't take too long to do. I've already done like the bulk of the main drafting pre-Christmas, so these are just a couple of amends based off of some like pricing details and stuff that's changed. So I'm gonna do that quickly, send it to the partner and the associate so they can double check it, and then send it out to the client, and then that is all my morning tasks done. So I'll go off and have some lunch. One thing I did actually want to get into was how I use my to-do list during the day. So for example, you can see that like here I've got straight lines through the tasks that I've actually done, i.e. they're no longer on my plate because I've either sent them to the required person, or like it's just basically not on my plate anymore, right? The ones which have stars next to it means that I've done what I can do for now, but I've had to maybe send it to the associate to review or something like that, and I know that it's still a task that is my responsibility. So once the associate comes back to me and gives the A-OK, then I'll send it out to the client or to whoever it needs to go to, and then I'll draw a line through it and then it'll be done. Then I'll have an afternoon to-do list. So just before I go off to lunch, I'm going to do my afternoon to-do list based off of like emails and just some stuff that I need to do as well. I try to space out when I do my admin during the day. So if there aren't too many pressing things coming in through the emails, then I'll probably put some admin stuff down here. So like time recording, fresh Unity entries, all that kind of stuff. So I think I'm going to put all of that in the afternoon. And then again, the ad hoc list will just stay there. And like I said, I haven't had any meetings this morning, so this side is still blank. But as and when I have meetings, then this side will be full as well. Okay, so the final 2 morning tasks are now done. Yay, go me. I've written down a quick like update to my to-do list for the afternoon. So there's some admin things I wanted to do, like I said before. I'm gonna go and have lunch now, and then I'll be back and hopefully explain what some of the tasks were that I was doing this morning as well, if I get some time. Okay everyone, so I've literally just finished like my log off actions. I'm about to shut my laptop. It's 8:10, but it's 8 p.m-ish. So that was what my day was like today. In all fairness, it wasn't actually a very busy day. I know I have finished a bit later than like expected, but it's more actually just because there was a bit of period of time like in the middle of the day where I was waiting for things to come back. So it's not like I was working a full-on like 12-hour day. I was just waiting for things to come in, really. And that is just the nature of what things can be like sometimes. Like sometimes we finish late, not necessarily because we were like working the whole time, but sometimes it's just because we're waiting on a particular document, or I don't know. So yeah, that's what my day was like. But I wanted to take this opportunity to talk through a couple of the tasks, just for your general understanding. So an offering memorandum is one of the things I was doing today. I was just having a quick review of it and trying to work out where we need to put in a particular link that the client asked us to put in. Very, very small and minor task, but an offering memorandum is a very key document, especially in debt capital markets. So I thought it'd be a good thing to talk about. Basically, in this particular kind of deal, bonds go to market, so bonds get listed on a stock exchange, right? So the offering memorandum is actually the main document here. It's not a debt instrument, but it's a main document here that's used for investors to be able to decide whether they want to invest in a bond or not. So it basically contains all of the information that you could possibly think that an investor would want to know. So like, what are the risks? What's the background of the company that's issuing the bond? Who are the lawyers involved? Like all that kind of stuff, it's all in the offering memorandum, because that's all the kind of stuff that, if you think about it like yourself, if you wanted to invest in something and you were doing your proper due diligence, you would want to know all of this information as well. So that's what the offering memorandum basically does. And I got to review that. I think as a task, it's actually a really good task to get as a trainee, because it's a really good way to understand more from a commercial perspective what different businesses are like. And that's nice. And if you have like good associates working with you, which I personally do, they will also like take you through some of the different working parts of an offering memorandum. So for me personally, because from the very beginning, like I've literally been working on drafting summary sections, drafting the DON, like drafting Annex B, all that kind of stuff, I've been able to look at the different operating parts, of an offering memorandum, to the point where now, like literally in the morning, it was an ad hoc task. An associate sent me an email to be like, oh, I've just got this message from the client, where do you think it will go? And I was able to respond like pretty much straight away and be like, oh, from what I've seen from other OMs, this is what I think. And it's because I've had that like practiced experience of like repeatedly looking at how the offering memorandum works. So that has been really, really good for me. I really, really enjoyed those kind of tasks. What's another cool task that I had that might be good to talk about? Oh yeah, determine when the cash flow can be transferred and how. So basically this was a client query that came in. And again, I think this is a really, really interesting task, because this is where, for me, the real lawyering comes in. So what basically had happened is that I had done some comments on a document that had been sent over to us by the lawyers on the other side. I had sent it back to the lawyers with the client in copy, but then also just for good order, I then also sent it to the client, just because like in this industry in particular, we get loads of emails every day. So it may have just been that when I send it back to the lawyers with the client in copy, maybe the client didn't see it or whatever. But if I send it directly to the client, then at least the client has definitely seen that, okay, this has been done. So when I sent it to the client, like they obviously said thanks, and then they had a question. Like it didn't affect the comments on the document, but it was just a question more for their understanding. Cool. So basically the way the question was, it was kind of like, oh, there's a particular step. So there's something called a bonds funds flow. And the very simplest way to like explain what that is that in a finance deal, money has to move, and the bonds funds flow basically just determines how the money moves. Like there has to be a step A, then a step B, then a step C, etc., etc. So that's what that part of the document does. And he'd asked about how like the money could actually move in that particular step. So I had a look at what the like wording actually said in the step, and the wording referred to a different document, like a different transaction document. So I had to go and look at that transaction document and look at the relevant operating clause. I then had to look at the relevant like definitions in that operating clause to then work out the answer. I listed out like my steps and my thought process. I sent it to the associate, told them like what I thought we should say to the client based off of what I'd done. Associate came back to me and was like, everything I'd said was right. So for me, that's like the real lawyering work that I really, really enjoy. And that was really, really nice. And it also made me happy that I had a better understanding of how to kind of look at all of the different documents that are involved in the transaction and piece it all together to answer a question. So that was quite fun. Do you know what? Let's have a little bit of balance. Let's talk about a task that I wouldn't say I don't like, because I understand the benefit of all the tasks, if I'm being honest, but it's not necessarily the most fun task, and it's a task that you will be asked to do. So towards the end of the day, I was asked to cross-reference check a document. You can already see by the way my face has gone down. Like cross-reference checking is not fun, I'll be honest. But two things I'll say to you here. First of all, attention to detail. We are always screaming attention to detail as lawyers. Like it's always like, oh, in your applications, you need to make sure you're paying attention to detail, you proofread, blah, 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 blah. It's not a joke. Like in the job, it is our job to pay attention to detail. And 9 times out of 10 in a deal, it's the trainee's job to pay the most attention to detail, because when all of these documents are flying around, it's normally the trainee's job to do what I just mentioned, the cross-reference check. What's a cross-reference check? Basically, if a document refers to another document, but refers to like a clause in another document. So for example, if I'm looking at a legal opinion and it refers to, I don't know, clause 31 of a trust deed or something like that, right? The trust deed being the other document. It's then my job to have all of those other documents open and check to make sure that all of those clauses are the right clauses. Tedious, but it's very important, because what you don't want to happen is you've written the wrong cross-reference, or if you're on the reviewing side, the other like lawyers have written the wrong cross-reference, the deal was signed, and now your client can't rely on a particular thing because it's just like it's pointing to the wrong clause. That would be an absolute nightmare. So it's actually a very, very important role. Trainees are, like I said, the ones who do it the most. It's normally their task, or maybe very junior associates as well, actually, to be fair, if like there's no trainee available. But yeah, I had to do a bit of that today. So it's not necessarily my favorite task, but it is a task that trainees are going to have to do a lot. So I thought it'd be important to tell you about it. But those are 3 of the tasks I did today. Obviously, I did a number of other things as well, but I'm not going to bore you with a play-by-play of absolutely every task I did. As you'll see, I'm back in my bonnet. As it gets later on in the day, I find that like I psychologically just don't want my hair in my face, if that makes sense, which means the bonnet comes back on so I can really focus. I feel like it just keeps the intelligence inside. So this is back on. We'd be looking cute. But that is the end of my vlog today. I'm gonna go and eat dinner. My mom just said that she got us Chinese, so I'm gonna go and enjoy. These are the perks of living at home. If you want me to tell you a little bit more about why I've chosen to live at home during my training contracts as opposed to like renting and all that kind of stuff, comment down below. I'd be happy to let you know. But for now, that's the end. Make sure that you like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you soon with another video.